there are people that do live it long term, and it's not just a trad wife. It's not a fad. It is something that they are taught that they must be, and they must force themselves into fitting that mold.
Hi, I'm Dan.
And I'm Can.
And this is the Dan and Can podcast. In case you haven't noticed, we got a little new thing going on here. You know, early in September, getting all the fall foliage out and the toasty fire behind us. In actuality, it's 90 degrees outside and 100% humidity. So, don't know why we have a fire going, but whatever. But
the fire that doesn't move. It's not flickering at all.
No, it's a controlled burn. But what we're doing is we've created a new recording system. We're using some new equipment and software so that we can do more. We can incorporate YouTube clips and TikToks and all that now, eventually. So this allows it for it. So we're switching up a little few things, and we haven't quite moved everything into the new recording room, but we're going to get there.
So for the first time, we're going to record basically in two different rooms. Like we're not in the same room in reality, which will be weird.
I had too much gas. So she couldn't be in the same room with me.
Why didn't you drink out of that little teacup you got sitting there? Your little cappuccino. See it? Can you grab it? Ooh, I got close.
Anywho, let's get to know each other a little bit. What do you say?
Sure. After 30 years, there's a lot I still don't know.
Yes, you don't. So we're going to keep on the trend.
What's that supposed to mean?
You know it all, baby. You know it all.
I don't think so. There's still more to learn. But when you're like, yeah, there's a lot you don't know. This kind of sounded a little bit disturbing. Anyways.
Well, she's in a mood tonight that'll be able to play our games and everything with. So we're going to stay on the same path that we have been, and we're going to do a get to know ya. Would you rather edition?
Okay.
So, Candace, would you rather cry in a men's accountability group or at a monster truck rally?
I would have no problem crying in a men's accountability group. It would be weird to cry at a.
Why
I'm
are
a woman,
you in
though.
A men's accountability
I know.
group?
That's what I'm like. I'll be crying because I'm there. But I think that was meant for a man to ask that question.
That one was. But
okay.
you know,
that's more a question for you. Which would you rather?
Well, honestly, the accountability group in the churches that we went to would have been more accepting of that sort of behavior. They would have embraced it. Where at a truck rally, I don't think they would embrace it so much unless you're like, oh, Bigfoot.
That was beautiful.
He's so beautiful. Oh, I love him. So, yeah. All right.
So we both agree we would cry in the men's accountability group.
Correct. Okay. Would you rather go to an alpha male boot camp or
Dan, these are questions for men.
Can I finish the question?
Okay.
Or a biblical womanhood tea party?
Ugh. What was the first one?
An alpha male boot camp.
Oh, God. That's horrible, too. I'm going to have to go to the tea party, but I would not be happy about it, but I would go there.
No, you wouldn't be.
I'm not going to the boot camp with a bunch of guys that are alpha males that think they're alpha males or whatever. That would be so obnoxious. The tea party, at least I could crack some jokes. I could make it fun. I'd figure out a way. It'd probably be very proper.
No, I don't think you would enjoy the tea party at all.
No, I wouldn't, but I'd enjoy it more.
If I were to ask the kids, they'd be like, oh, I remember, Mom, you're always telling us how you were in high school saying, I'd rather hang out with the boys than all these
because I was a
catty
pick-me,
girls
apparently.
around me. So
I didn't say catty girls. It was just because...
I'm saying what the kids would say. So
yeah, but that's not the issue. But it was probably a recovering pick-me, honestly.
Recovering pick-me.
I mean, really, pick-mes are women who basically are trying to get male. They get male attention, and it keeps you safe. Pretty sure I was doing that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But in the private school that I was in, I'd rather hang out with the guys because the guys got to do fun stuff. The girls were like
the tomboy, and you wanted to come out.
Yeah, I had 3 older brothers right older than me. So I was I just wasn't a girly girl.
No.
That's just the way it is.
No.
Sorry.
So it's all right.
I like some femme
This is
stuff,
what
though.
you got for that.
Wow. What are you doing?
Feeling trying to pat you on the shoulder.
That you're going the wrong direction. Look at yourself. You would have to go like this. You're putting your hand out towards that bush over there.
Well,
that hand.
According to mine, it's going towards you.
It is?
And I'm the one recording.
So when I go like this, is it going towards you or away from you?
Towards me.
Yeah, it's going towards you to me, too.
Yeah.
That's weird.
You're weird.
Okay.
So, all right. Would you rather have your spouse only communicate in Bible verses or only communicate in MLM slogans?
I mean, MLM slogans could at least be kind of encouraging, maybe. Isn't that their goal? To kind of hype up.
Motivational.
Yeah.
But so with the Bible verses. Everyone uses
No, there's
Bible
some Bible verses that can be
encourage.
used pretty bad too. Yeah, you can use it to encourage, but it can be pretty bad too. So I'm going to go with the MLM, even though that would be absolutely awful. And if you start talking like it, I'm going to ask Reese for the divorce papers.
It's fake ass shit manipulation to try to get you to
okay, but I don't want the Bible verses either because we know people who do that and it's annoying.
Yeah.
And there's trauma attached to that to me.
And you know people that are using MLM for words on you all the time too.
Okay, well I have to pick one, Dan. Stop trying to get me to pick the Bible. Dan.
There's no wonder you're in the position you are now. All right, final one. Would you rather marry someone who wears only Ed Hardy Jesus shirts or someone who only wears denim jumpers? You see me in a denim jumper?
You have a shirt on or off?
Off.
So like just hairy. Not a good look with a denim jumper. No. And Ed Hardy, is that a Christian shirt? Because I know the kids, we would get clothes from, when we'd get like hand-me-downs or something for our kids when we were homeschooling them.
Yeah.
Or we'd buy used, like we had a lot of Ed Hardy shirts, t-shirts. Is that a Christian t-shirt maker?
Yeah.
Who is Ed Hardy? I'm going to look it up.
He was a designer, but I don't think they were solely Christian. I think a lot of people used them. So, all right. Well, any guesses what the topic du jour is tonight?
No.
Well, it's kind of based.
It's what?
It's based on our last 2 weeks ago podcast where at the end we were talking about something. You said, "Oh, this would be a good topic to explore."
Why'd you say it that way? Good topic to explore.
I got a weird echo going on, so I'm trying to work with that. So I just got to talk through all the echoes and not even listen to myself when I'm talking in my headphones because it's a delay, and it's like singing a national anthem at a stadium, which I do all the time. So, well, it's a delay coming to me. So, whatever. Anywho, we were talking about, in this case, it was men who weren't allowed to experience or put out certain emotional traits, feelings. They weren't supposed to act certain ways.
They couldn't express certain emotions.
Yeah, thank you. They were supposed to be stoic and no crying, no sadness, except for maybe a funeral. You couldn't be docile or compassionate, all
couldn't
the typical,
even get excited, couldn't, anger. They could show anger.
Alpha male, toxic characteristics that are out there where this is the way a man is, and they can't be anything like that because that's a feminine trait. We can't have our men doing that. Mm-hmm. But it's also pertains to the women too, because women were told they had to have certain traits. So you couldn't be aggressive or loud or leader
angry
or anything like that. You had to have all the motherly instincts, the care, the compassion, all that. So we're going to kind of talk about that and how it just presents this culture and pockets people in it and what that develops to later in life, what that becomes. And we have good examples of that in our family, where we can look at my parents, your parents, and all that, and we can see when a man didn't express the care and compassion, the soft side of the human experience, but it was all tough and we're going to be strict and disciplinarians and all that. What that end result ended up being and where that went. So that's kind of where we're going to go with everything today. Okay. So prepare yourself for that. So while you're preparing your mind for that, let's play a little game. And you may want to get your computer ready because we've had issues with this game in the past.
Oh, no.
Christian product or crap?
Okay.
That chat GPT.
Are you okay?
This is really fucking with me.
I can tell. It feels weird. So why is it? It's just because it's echoing in your ear.
Know.
There's no way around it.
I'll have to figure it out more in development of this software, but we'll get to it better. So this isn't
you
the
could
time
turn
to
it
work
down.
on it. Well, if I
turn the volume down. Turn the volume down for your headphones. So just enough so you can hear me, but at least the echo.
All right. Okay.
Is that a little bit better?
Yeah. No. Yeah, that's a little better, but we'll keep going. So, all right. You ready on your computer?
No, I'll use it if I need it. Yep.
Okay. Hold on. Let me see.
Or I'll use my phone. I got my phone. Since I have to sit so far back from my computer, I have to wear my glasses so that I can see facial expressions from you. And I had to scoot back because otherwise I sit closer. Watch. It looks like I could eat him. And still I know that I'm closer than you because I still look like I could pick you up and put you in my pocket.
What?
You just look small.
You're the same size as I am. Yeah.
But you look smaller than
crushing your
the
head.
ratio.
Crushing your head. Okay. First up, a beard care kit with biblical branding. Comes with oils and a comb to grow a beard worthy of Abraham's covenant strength. Because nothing says holy masculinity like a greasy chin curtain.
A chin curtain? That is disgusting sounding. Okay, so what's the name of the product?
The biblical beard kit.
Yeah, it's real.
It is, according to this, fake.
There's something like that.
There's beard oils, but not necessarily a whole.
We're coming up with the things that people could start making. You can see Christians going, "Oh, I gotta make that." Okay, I don't see. You have the Jesus Gent beard kit. I don't know what that is. Okay, fine. I don't see a biblical beard kit, but is it biblical for a man to have a beard? That's what somebody asked. Okay, go ahead.
All right, you ready for... Oops, hold on. There we go. Clicked out of a bunch of stuff, but we're still there. Next, a homeschool package designed for young girls teaches cooking, sewing, and how to honor their future husband by being demure. Basically, the Build a Bride workshop. It's called the Stay-at-Home Daughter Curriculum.
Real.
That is real.
Oh, wow.
So
buy it and give it to your sons, please. So they know how to cook and clean.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes,
Stay-at-home daughter. Okay.
Anywho, okay. I'm going to check something because my stuff is still acting up here before we go on.
Wow, this is going to be an interesting podcast.
Okay. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Let me go up a little bit. Okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
All right. Sorry, folks. Like I said, this is all new stuff for us.
We'll get the hang of it.
That's much better for me on my hand, so I can deal with that. So, all right. Number 3. How about this one? A protein supplement for dads. Advertised as building godly muscle mass so that you can lift your family spiritually and physically. Pre-workout with a side of patriarchy. Alpha Father protein powder.
I'm going to say that's made up.
That is fake.
Yeah. Somebody's really falling for the marketing if they buy that.
Do you want me to get on the Alpha Father protein powder?
No, I don't want you on fake protein powder, Dan.
Why not? I think you would enjoy it.
Is it going to turn you into looking like a Christian man? Are you going to start wearing those Christian sandals? You know what I'm talking about?
The Jesus sandals?
The Jesus sandals that we used to laugh at. Even when we were Christians, we would be like, oh, he was wearing Jesus sandals.
Well, we could always find a Christian because they had them sandals
on. We knew because they wear sandals with the socks. And they had, it was a particular, like a sandal. I don't know. It's not Birks. It was like a sandal with a strap on the back.
It was all the leather that was kind of wrapped over each other, wove together. Yeah, it was an interesting thing. All right. Number 4. Okay, this one hurts. A plastic ruler sold to youth groups to measure skirt length and make sure girls were appropriately feminine. Because nothing says honor God like a grown man pulling out a measuring stick. The modesty ruler.
I'm going to say it's made up, but it could be a thing because our teachers did measure our skirts and our earrings and the space between us and between opposite sex.
They're saying this one is real.
Oh, wow. Let me look. Modesty ruler?
Yeah. You find it?
No, I'm still looking. I had to unlock my phone.
Oh, you're on your phone because you're too far away from your computer because you thought you looked too large.
This is
recording stopped.
What?
You better hit it again. That's the recording in Zoom. Do you need the recording from Zoom?
I was doing both.
Oh, you need the video, audio, or the visual. Yeah.
According to this, it's still going.
I don't know.
Oh, we'll see. I got it double captured now, too.
Not on video. Not the video, Dan.
According to the Zoom, it is, but I got it copied on the other software, too.
Yeah, but you don't have the video on the other software.
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
And it looks like this?
Yeah.
All right.
See, I'm a magic man.
I don't.
But it's saying it's still recording, so I don't know why it said that.
All I see is a YouTube girl defined modesty used to rule our lives. Here's why it no longer does. 9 months ago. Interesting. I don't see the modesty ruler. Oh, a modest plastic ruler. No, I don't see it, but maybe it's a real thing.
ChatGPT is lying to us again.
ChatGPT is full of shit.
Number 5. Picture this. Candles for the Christian alpha bro. Scents like gun oil, fresh cut grass, and repentance. Finally, a way to make your own man cave smell like Jesus and diesel fuel. Godly man candle set.
No.
No?
Unless it was like, I was going to say like the tobacco candles that I like so much, but they probably wouldn't have those because they would say tobacco's evil, which you're not smoking it. It's just the scent of it.
But you don't think that family Christian bookstores would have a godly male candle set?
No, because I feel like they would say that it's too effeminate to have candles.
Well, according to this, it's fake.
Yeah.
It reminds me of a video I saw on TikTok the other day. It's one of them pranking videos with a husband and wife, and you know the ones where you can tell that these people are probably going to be divorced in 5 years because of the shit they're doing.
Yeah.
So
usually the guy is going way overboard.
Oh, both of them were. So he was in him and his wife were in a candle aisle, like me and you are apt to do at times. Mm-hmm. And we're sniffing the candles, pulling the lid off and seeing what it is. Well, he took one, farted in it, put the lid back on it, then handed it to his wife.
Oh, God, gross. Would that really work?
We'll find out at a Walmart soon enough.
No, I will not. I will not, because you will not do that to me.
But, she ended up getting a long, wrapping paper tube and then put it up to his mouth, and then she farted in that.
Oh, my God.
So, yeah,
they're just like, these are things. That's like sibling kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's not really, I don't know. I don't want my spouse to treat me like that.
Noted. All right. Next one. Moving on. Pastel teacup stamped with Proverbs 31 verses. Marketed as training tools for young ladies, because nothing screams empowerment like drinking chamomile under patriarchy. The virtuous woman's tea set.
Yep, that's real.
According to this, yes, it's real.
Yeah, I could see that. I don't even need to look it up because I'll probably see something and it'll irritate me. Oop. Sorry.
What?
You can't hear it? Okay, because I was pushing something on my little Finch guy that helps me stay on track, and he made a little tweeting sound.
You're over there playing with your pet?
It looks like I'm playing a game.
Okay,
I'm not.
Okay. I shouldn't say that when both your hands are down below the couch. Stop playing with your pet while we're taking a podcast.
Okay.
All right, next. A fitness DVD promising to turn you into a spiritual warrior and physical beast. This P90X, but with more Bible verses shouted at you while you do push-ups.
True. Real.
Yes. Men of Valor workout.
Wow. Okay.
All right. This gem, every bead on the bracelet, is a prayer for purity, marketed at tween girls and purity conferences. This is like a Fitbit, except instead of counting steps, it counts how many times you've disappointed your youth pastor. The chastity charm bracelet.
No, that's not real.
I said it's real. So you can always have that bracelet on your hand to remind you of your virtuous purity.
Oh, I guess it's kind of like a purity ring.
Yeah.
Okay,
well, we
yeah,
got the purity
real.
underwear where Gandalf's on the crotch saying, "Thou shalt not pass." All right.
Sold in Christian bookstores across the USA.
Now, this one's for the ladies. A kitchen apron embroidered with a verse about wives obeying husbands. Comes in pink, obviously, because God hates primary colors. The Submit Like Sarah apron.
No, I don't think so.
Sounds like something your dad would buy your mom.
That's what I was thinking of. I thought of the same book thing, and I was like, oh, that's something my dad would just, he probably would
cook with this on, remind you to obey me.
He'd be like, cook with this on and just this on. Ugh.
No, that's what I say. Not with Bible verses on it, just any apron you got. All right, last one.
Is that real or not? Wait, was that real or not?
Oh, that was fake.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Last one. A camouflage rifle case with a cross and Psalm 144 on it. Blessed be the Lord, my rock, who trains my hands for war. Finally, a way to keep both your Bible and your bullets holy. The Jesus-approved hunting rifle case.
That's definitely real.
It's real.
Okay. Is that even, like, what verse did it say?
Let me pull it up here again. Psalm 144:1.
Whoops. I want to see if that's really what that says, because Psalm 144. Blessed be who trains my hands for war and my fingers for battle. I guess it was written by David, or it's attributed to him. And he was in fighting battles, but I was just like, okay.
Hey, any way we can manipulate the Bible to make all our shit holy.
So
guns,
so we can justify all the wars that
our guns are blessed by Jesus himself.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, he would have taken care of a lot of his problems if he had an AK-47 or an AR-4.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Wow. It's just coming blazing through.
What's that, pilot? I'm sorry. Pew, 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 pew. All right. So let's talk about toxic behaviors. We've talked about this many times before, and I think we kind of know what they all are. And let's kind of focus this more on the emotional side of things, because that's kind of where this is all leading to. Mm-hmm. Because in the episode when we were talking about it, and it was about self-worth. And we ended up going into talking about not being able to accept the true yourself. And it's tough to accept your true self if you're not letting yourself express emotions and feelings that you have, and you learn to repress and push them down. You just trained yourself not to be who you are, right?
Well, yes. And the emotions don't go away. Emotions are energy in motion. So if you don't allow them to move through the body like they need to, and you suppress them, like you don't let them, let's say you have the urge to, like, you just feel sad. Yeah. And you need to be sad for a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. If you just put on a smiley face, that sadness just gets shoved into, it can create chronic pain. Eventually, that's what a lot of times it does do. Or it will come out in an outburst where people will be like, what in the hell? That came out of nowhere, and it was over excessive, like anger, or it can come out probably in other ways too, like uncontrolled weeping.
Yeah.
Not
it's like
that
that
you need to ever
story
control weeping, but just you're crying and you can't.
It's
Maybe
that
you're
video
angry.
you talked about a couple weeks ago where the guy went into his bedroom and hid behind the bed and was crying.
Oh yeah, he was underneath the
But
bed and he
yeah,
was crying like a child would.
yeah,
Go and hide and cry. Yeah.
that's exactly that. Because he's repressed it so long that, eventually this stuff simmers and boils and toils and troubles until it.
Well, and that's probably something that he might not even have suppressed. What might be happening in that case is he learned as a child to hide it. So he would go and he would hide and he would cry. And then his girlfriend and him got in a fight or a disagreement of some sort. And he went and hid and cried. And then she, in her being unself-aware too, mocked him and made fun of him, which is not going to help her. It's not going to help him. It'll actually cause a bigger mess for sure. But I understand she thinks he's being like childish, but he's reverting to childlike behavior because he has not been allowed to mature and that he wasn't taught how to like deal with sadness.
And that was the last safe space he knew to be able to express that emotion.
Yeah.
So he reverted back to it to let it come out then.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's not appropriate for a grown-ass man to sit down and break down because that's what we're being told by all this.
Yeah.
And it's not just Andrew Tate, but it's the Christian bros that are coming after it. This is what we need to be. We need to force ourselves to be leaders and, and all that stuff. And it's just like you're causing so much harm to these individuals that they can't, it makes them ill. It makes them sick.
Well, it makes it also keeps a person, if a person is kept in one energy and they're not able to have a balance of masculine and feminine, that's when it becomes toxic. You have toxic masculinity. You also have toxic femininity. A woman who can't express her anger or express an opinion, that's toxic femininity. She's not, she's just in her feminine all the time and never is allowed into her masculine and vice versa. Those are toxic. You need to allow both to be balanced inside you.
Let's explore that a little bit more because, obviously, I think there's a big push right now, at least from my perspective, what I've seen, maybe I'm wrong completely on this, but there's a lot of focus on toxic masculinity and being the godly man, the alpha male and all this.
Yeah.
But there's also a push for the feminine too, that women need to behave this certain way. Maybe I should relent and let you speak to this a little bit more.
I think I don't even know that. Like I'm just based off of what I do know. First of all, if you can have toxic masculinity, you can have toxic femininity.
Yeah.
There's no way. And it's not feminism. Feminism, first of all, real feminism is pretty healthy. It's wanting a balance of the two. But when a lot of people, especially in Christianity, what we were taught feminism is like this hatred towards men and stuff. And a lot of that's not toxic femininity. We're taught basically that it's more toxic masculinity. It's just women trying to be like men. And we don't need to be like men, first of all. There's differences, but they both have these strengths and everybody has a mixture. It's not like all women are the same and all men are the same. Like a woman can be more in her masculine and a man can be more in his feminine at any given time. We're all flowing back and forth between the spectrum. That's really all that's happening.
And
then
it's like in science and chemistry and all this, where you're trying to find equilibrium.
Yeah. And
so you're trying to get that balance to be a symbiotic relationship.
Yeah.
So when you have hot and cold liquids, they start, they're not balanced. So they start to blend and pull over and go until it's one temperature. And then you have balance, symbiotic
in your body,
relationship.
Yeah, your body does that all the time. Like think about just like it's the same example, but think about in your body. If you're cold, your body will create goosebumps. It'll cause you to shiver. Your teeth might chatter because it's trying to get that balance back, that homeostasis.
We should be calling them God bumps just to give him more praise.
God bumps?
Yeah.
Ew, that just sounds gross.
Gives me God bumps.
No, not happening.
So, but yeah, it's trying to find that balance. So what we're doing is we're going against the natural when we're trying to promote this all alpha, because then you get into a room of all alphas. That's a recipe for disaster because all these guys are competing for stuff. There needs to be a balance in there. If you put a bunch of women that are all, what do you guys call yours? What was the book you're supposed to read in the Bible? Memorize?
Titus?
Yeah, Titus woman.
Proverbs 31,
Proverbs
maybe.
31 woman, yeah.
Even though she was in her masculine, she created businesses. She ran the home, basically. Like she had a business. She wasn't. Feminine. She was selling.
She was a docile woman.
She wasn't, though. That's not how she's described. But the fundamentalists took it somehow and made it seem like this meek. And their idea of meek is like this quiet little mousy person. Michelle Duggar. That's what they seem to think you know what? They act like they want that, but they really don't. Most men, I'm going to take a guess here and you give me your input on this. If you're married to someone like Michelle Duggar, who talks like that, acts just really like kind of passive and just whatever you want, like, I feel like you're not real happy.
Man.
After a while. Yes.
Yeah, and this is kind of what stirred up this topic in the last episode that brought this topic to the table, was that, the whole image was a man was supposed to come home and not be bothered by the wife. The old good housekeeping thing of you be quiet, give your man the chair, his newspaper, his ottoman, whatever beverage he chose, because why? Your problems don't matter anything as much as his problems.
Yeah, yours is not even close to his problems.
Don't bother him with your problems.
Yeah.
So that was the ideal of what relationship was supposed to be. So these guys come home, and that's what they've always been trained to. They've never been able to deal with it. So when they try to, when the woman wants to talk to them about something, they're not prepared for it. They're not equipped for it, and they can't handle it. And it's a big, oh no, shorting out and malfunctioning and everything like that.
You're making me feel things and I don't want to feel, so stop talking.
Yeah, stop making me feel.
Rub my feet.
I'm numb. So they're not ready for it. So I think the guys don't want this because it challenges them. And
yeah, it does. It challenges them, especially the way they were raised.
Yeah. The whole thing of an alpha is, if I claim I'm an alpha, you can't challenge me because I'm the alpha. Mm-hmm. You all back down and respect the alpha. I'm the one that's running things around here. And then when two alphas get together, one of them is going to become a beta pretty quick because one's going to end up a certain dominance over the other one. Right.
That's true. And I think a lot of times some of these alpha guys too, because you'll see them I think those are the ones that come into like the comments, especially, I've noticed them, maybe other women who post on like deconstruction stuff. You get these guys that'll come in and they'll start throwing their verses. They kind of think that the weight of their words carries a little bit more, and I'm just like, you do not know who you're talking to, because I do not care what you are saying right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they think they don't even have to have a good argument, almost because they're male, I should back down.
Yeah. That's what it's supposed to be.
Or feel intimidated. Yeah.
So,
and I think they feel really threatened by women like me or other women who stand up to them.
So, so to floppy dick around, back to your question of why men, I think men just don't want to deal with the work of it. They're just being lazy.
Yeah, it's lazy. Yeah.
Because actually sitting there and talking to your partner and hashing out differences and figuring out what's going on and allowing balance to happen is work. To figure it out.
Or listening to her day so that you can get to know her and what her feelings are and what she's going throughout the day.
Yeah.
Because a lot of guys won't even do that, or they just want it to be real surface. They don't want you to tell them the real deal,
Well, and they've never been trained to get down deep or anything like that. They're just keeping it
No,
on
and
the
they
top.
think that they're scared. Not only are they scared of it, it's unknown to their subconscious.
Yeah.
So there's an automatic fear of it. They wouldn't call it a fear. They would say, you don't go there because there's nothing there. But they don't realize that there's treasures in those harder places. Like if they will go there, they will have a much better, deeper relationship with their spouse that they want. They'll have the things that they want if they're willing to do the harder work, to put in the work.
But it's also going against a lot of their programming, because once you start going into it, then you start feeling things and things that a man's not supposed to feel.
It's uncomfortable to them. Yeah.
So they become uncomfortable. It's not normal. This isn't right. This isn't what a manly behavior is. Instead of realizing, no, this actually is manly behavior, to be able to experience the fullness of everything around you, because you limit yourself so much. If you're only going to be happy, angry, and fun, and that's all you get to experience in life, you've limited a lot of experience in your life.
Yeah. A lot of the emotion you will feel, like we've even said before about between you and me, and this may be personality, but it might be just programming too, where I can feel low lows, but I can feel a really high, moment. And you kind of stay in this center lane, and don't necessarily go really low but there's a lot that you might miss because you can't. And you can experience those. It's just going to be training yourself to allow yourself to go there, even when it feels uncomfortable,
Yeah.
And it might feel uncomfortable. Like we've talked about before, how that time that you cried, or you said, like, because we were in like a financial situation and you were just like, and you kind of cried, and I was just like, oh, I don't even know what to do. Like it scared the crap out of me. It was uncomfortable for me because that was new for me too, to see you break down in that way, because then it scared me more. So I can understand why men feel like they have to, because they're trying to protect the feelings of women. But also women have been told they're over emotional, and it taught me, like, I'll be okay. I can handle this. I can hold space for him to feel this. You know what I'm saying? And so it helps me grow and it helps you grow. So it's back and forth, but we don't give ourselves that shot because we're programmed a certain way, and we either believe the program or we're too scared to go against it.
Yeah. So we're talking about this from the male point of actually dealing with stuff. How about from the female point of view, where you're trying to get more into the masculine? How is that uncomfort? How's that overcome? How is that dealing with it when you've been trained your whole life to be submissive, to be the passive partner of everything? I'm going to disappear. I got to get a charging cord here.
So can you still hear me? Oh, you are disappearing. Look at him. If you're watching on audio, you can see his arm. That's all.
Found it.
Okay. I would say that from my point of view as a woman, but not necessarily every woman's point of view, obviously. First, when you get angry, you feel guilt, shame for being angry. Do you feel that when you get angry?
Afterwards,
or do you feel kind of like, okay?
It depends on, because I can get angry, but angry to myself internally. I don't really express it outwardly. But so then I might not feel the guilt of it. But if I get angry and react to someone out of that anger, there'll be some guilt and remorse on how I behaved in that situation.
So if you act a certain way, it's more about the action, not the being angry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I feel guilt just being angry. Not just how I express it, but just feeling the feeling of it. Like I feel like I shouldn't feel it.
Because that's not a natural, that's not the programmed.
It's not programmed as though it's natural, even though it is natural.
Yeah. That's what you're trying to say. Yeah. The church, the faith, you're not supposed to be angry. You're supposed to be the caretaker, the nurturer. Nurturers don't get angry. even though I've seen you pulling your hair out because the kids don't do something the right way or don't listen or don't do anything like this. Anyone that's known a mother and been around a mother up close and personal for any extended period of time knows mothers get angry quite often because of what's going on.
I will say, like, in my defense, like, it's very different than before. I've done a lot of inner work, let's just say. And before I did that, I had a lot of repressed emotion, but it was an emotion around anger, probably. It was suppressed. So what would happen is tears or outbursts, where I'm just like, I'm going to lose my mind. I'm about ready to lose it. I would say those kind of things. Like, I'm about ready to lose it when the kids were little.
I remember.
And it was just overwhelming and there was just chaos going on. And I would lock myself in the bathroom so I could cry and scream or whatever,
me being the alpha male would have been like, oh, I guess it's my time to start acting and I guess I'll tag in.
Yeah.
What are you damn kids doing? Can't you see what you're doing to your mother here?
Let's just say it wasn't gentle parenting that we were using at first at all, and not just unregulated nervous systems. So anyway, like anger, I think, is one of the big ones that you feel something around or you try to avoid, and then that can also the light that was on my thing came down.
It's a new format, folks. So just bear with us as we're fighting through this one.
This one's going to be. Anyways, anger. Yeah, if you suppress it because you're having to suppress that. But there was another one I was going to say that you can't, like women. Oh yeah, then you get that fake smile and that phoniness. Hi, when like they're talking about you behind their back or something. Women get pretty good at doing that. Men, I'm sure, do too. But that's mostly. And for me, like, so tears were the first thing that would come up. Like, I couldn't not. If I was angry, I cried. If I was sad, I cried. It was, if I was frustrated, I cried. Tears were always, I would always say that too. I was like, I could cry. It's right there. I could just cry at any moment. There was years that went by that I felt like that a lot of the time. And it was just emotions that I wasn't allowed to really express. Even when I was being treated with, like at the beginning of deconstruction, I mean, I was treated pretty poorly by a lot of people in our family or my family, and couldn't really get angry about it. I don't even know if you remember or notice, like I couldn't get angry. I had to just be like, I remember getting to the point where I can't defend myself. I was trying to defend myself. And then I'm just like, I can't defend. They wanted me to prove everything, back up all the beliefs. And I would use scripture verses. I would use all sorts of things, but they were saying terrible things that weren't true about me. And I just had to just be like, that's when I was still a Christian at the time. And I was just like, God, you'll just have to defend me because I cannot defend myself. But I wasn't ever getting angry about how they were treating me, but I needed to be angry, right? That's part of the grieving process. If during grief, and you experience grief, not just when you lose somebody, like somebody dies, but you experience grief also anytime you go through some sort of transition where you're losing something or letting something go, there's a grief. And anger's one of the emotions that you need to go through, one of the stages of it. And if you don't go through that, it's going to go somewhere. Yeah. You need to be able to express the anger about that situation. Yeah. So that you can let go of it.
It's all repressed and put in. And I don't know, maybe this isn't a good, let's try this analogy out. When you start doing this, this is like not taking care of a cut or a scratch. And all of a sudden that gets infested and starts to get all infected and nasty. That's what's happening to your insides when you don't take care of this emotional turmoil inside of you.
Yeah, I would say that's not far off. I would say like the trauma that caused it, or the situation that caused the damage. Let's say somebody says something about you or says something that really triggers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that instead of like looking at the wound and treating the wound, it would just be like throwing a Band-Aid over it and letting the germs be trapped inside there.
Mm-hmm.
Without being able to move through, because what it should do is you look at it and you care for it. You dress that wound, properly, and then it won't get infected. And you keep checking on it as it's healing, like how we doing. And if there's a trigger still, okay, we're not completely healed. So if the skin is still too sensitive to being exposed, you still dress it, cover it, and you protect it. But that's not a bad analogy.
Okay. So let's kind of shift here a little bit and start landing this plane. So we have this setup. Okay. Men are only allowed this way of expressing. Women are only allowed this way of expressing. And anything that's outside of that parameter, outside that bubble, repress it, keep it down. So what's that do? It builds up turmoil. It infects the inside. It makes you
It's going to blow somewhere.
Yeah, it affects your personality and how you actually look and perceive and how you're perceived in the world. So these men that are constantly fighting down all the feminine traits and emotions end up being just grumpy and sour and tyrants, because the only way they can express any of the other emotions is through anger or, that's the main expression that comes out a lot of times. Yeah. So they are sad about something and it's like, why are you so pissed off about this? You should be. That's the wrong emotion for what you're dealing with, but they come out and that's what happens. The women, why don't you speak to that? What that turns into?
I think a lot of times with women, it turns into they become very cold towards their spouse, bitter. I mean, a lot of times people think of like a woman becoming like a Karen. Mm-hmm. That's how you're going to get your Karens, is this kind of stuff, whereas if you see a Karen, she's exploding usually in ridiculous anger over something so stupid. She's not calm. She's not able to let things just roll over her that are not a big deal. She makes a big deal out of very little things. And that is because of repressed emotion, I would say a lot of times. I mean, there's other things that could be causing it, but repressed emotion could be causing a lot of those issues. And where you see a couple become like where they're kind of just bashing each other behind each other's back, that's a lot of repressed. They haven't talked about stuff. They haven't really talked about how they feel about things. Instead it's just, I'll just let it go. And they're not really letting it go. They're shoving it down. It's going somewhere because it's something, if it pops back up and you keep thinking about it and you keep stewing on it and you ruminate, that's going to turn into bitterness. And it's probably bitterness in both. It just expresses itself. Yeah. It might kind of express itself very similarly. I think both men and women have explosive, anger comes to the surface in explosion of some sort, like
I was thinking of a different one too, and think about some people that we know that are fully embrace this feminine aspect of what's being going on, how they are just so docile and just blown.
They almost
in the wind.
Don't have a personality. Yeah.
There's
the personality
nothing to
almost
them.
Seems gone.
So I think that's another way they possibly. So you got the Karen, which is actually going more into the alpha male masculine.
Or they get, you're right. Or I see what you're saying. Like they can be very
meek.
But no, not even meek, because I think meek has a place. It's bland, I think is the right word, bland. And that's where a relationship that hurts a marriage too, because there's no spark. There's just kind of, I'm married to this person, but everything, like you said at the beginning, like we were talking about how there's more to learn. We've been together for 30 years and we still figure out new things.
There's a lot more.
Because we're...
Call back.
because you should grow and change. You should not stay the same person, right?
Yeah.
If you are the same person today that you were when you got married, something is wrong. If you've been married for 30 years and you are the same person that you were the day you got married, I'm not saying you shouldn't have some core traits that are probably there, but I'm talking about like you should grow and change and become even more interesting. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't, then you didn't. I don't know that you lived life really very well. You know, and I think that's what's happening a lot of times with these women who are forced, I want to say forced by the religion. Because it's one thing if you want to be like a trad wife. That's a style. It can be something that somebody wants to try for a while. I don't know if anybody would want to live it long term, but there are people that do live it long term, and it's not just a trad wife. It's not a fad. It is something that they are taught that they must be, and they must force themselves into fitting that mold, whatever that looks like for the men that are in leadership in their life. You know, they tell them what it must look like because it doesn't look the same from Christian group to Christian group, because some Christians would say women need to wear dresses and they need to have that Duggar voice that's very soft and sweet. And then other ones, let them talk like I'm talking, but you know, you need to make sure you make less money than your husband and you cook all the meals and you get all the housework done. Even if you do work outside the home, you are going to actually do all the housework too and do all the child rearing and stuff. And, you know, just like that. It's different from Christian to Christian church.
But let me ask you something here too, on something you said earlier. If you're in that docile, bland, you've just kind of bought into the opiate of everything. You are almost like you're just volumed out, right? You just know how to react. It's just secondhand to be like, okay, yeah, all right. You know, the moral oral mother that was on volume all day long. That's
another thing that it can lead to is abuse of alcohol, drugs. Yeah.
But that personality,
both of them.
That's not very beneficial for anything because it's just so, it's draining.
Bland. It's not, it's a biblical way to say that would be that it's lukewarm. Yeah. It's like drinking lukewarm water. Nobody wants to drink lukewarm water.
Yeah.
If you can have, especially if you're really thirsty or you're really, or you're cold, a warm drink would be good.
Yeah.
Warm or cold or cool even, but lukewarm, like room temperature, stagnant more. It's more like stagnant water.
Yeah.
You know, so that lukewarm is like it just doesn't benefit anybody. It's not benefiting her. It's not benefiting her marriage. It's not benefiting her children. It's not benefiting anybody. Like we know people who are like this and have lived like this, and we knew them before it when they had personality. And now the personality is, sometimes it peeks through. It's really rare.
Yeah.
So it's still there, but it's hidden. It's hidden underneath so many masks that they have to try to keep on at all times. And then that is where the outbursts come from, because they're going to happen sometimes. And it's because of the mask. You get tired of wearing it because it takes a lot of energy to keep the mask on all the time, even when you're at home, even when you're just with your husband, even, you know, like you have to keep it on. You don't. Whereas with you and I, a lot of times there was some mask we were wearing with each other, but we had less than some other Christians. We could be a little more real with each other, you know, or we couldn't have even talked about deconstruction in the first place. You know, I know we were hesitant, but it's like we had to wear masks at church, you know, with our families. We had to keep these certain masks on. And then when we were with each other, there was times we could let them slip off a little bit. So, and you should be able to do that in your home. But a lot of these women, no, it is 24/7 on. Yeah. That's tiring.
Yeah. And it's a tough personality to be around.
Yeah.
Because there's no life to it. There's no personality. And you just kind of almost like a part of the background. You kind of blend into everything around there, you know. No one really think about the people you know like this. No one really searches them out at an event. They may search out and they're doing their thing, but no one's going, hey, I want to go talk to so-and-so. It's like,
yeah, that's
no,
kind of true. I guess I never thought about that, but that is kind of true too. Yeah.
Because they just kind of are part of
You
the
don't try
scenery.
to avoid them, but you don't try to go towards them either.
Yeah,
you just kind of like,
just a tree,
if you run into them, you run into them.
They're a tree. They're a plant that's just in the background. You know, they're that little leaf up here. You just don't notice it. It's just there. So
yeah.
So what's this lead to later in life when you're getting closer to the end times? And I'm not talking about Jesus returning. I'm talking about you.
Your end times?
You returning back to dust. So,
okay.
From one point of view, when you have the men that are extremely angry and all this and have been tyrants their whole life, grumpy, haven't really shown any tenderness, not a lot of compassion, not a lot of what would be considered sweet love. They were tough love. I'm going to raise you up with the school of hard knocks because I'm a man and that's what we got to teach you as men, for my daughters and sons. You have a bunch of grumpy old tyrants that their children look at them and they don't love them because they feel love. They love them out of obligation.
Yeah, they don't necessarily feel a tenderness towards them.
Yeah.
It's almost like a disconnect. Like that is a person that I care about them. I care about how they're feeling, but I don't necessarily, it's not hurting me like it would someone that I've known love from, which is sad, but I'm thinking like all these preachers that kind of, this group now that's like women shouldn't vote and all these things. And they just think they're so masculine and they seem like very weak men to me. I think that they would not be able to handle strong women. I think that's why they just feel threatened by them. And so they are attracted to women who are naturally just kind of weaker. I don't have no other way of saying that. It's not that the women wouldn't be stronger or can't be. It's just they aren't at that point in time when they're drawn to each other. And these guys, I would be shocked if they have really healthy relationships with their children, where their children just like adore them.
Yeah, their children aren't going to ever feel tenderness towards them because that was never given.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can't see some of these guys like Driscoll or Joel Weebon or Doug
like they're going to get older. I mean, they are getting older and they're going to die someday or on their deathbed.
And they're like, oh, that's all right, honey. When the kid comes home and the boyfriend or girlfriend broke up with them, they're not going to be like, oh, let's sit down. No, they're going to be like, get over it. There's other fish in the sea. You'll be fine. Suck it up type stuff, Or
even like their child having doubts about their faith. That would be where something like that would really come in, and you would want to be able to be soft and tender and hold space. But they would be like, God says, and male or female, it wouldn't matter. They're going to, if they're in these roles, they're going to push that hardness onto that child. You know what I'm saying? Where it's going to rip a mom apart. That would just, I don't know how some of these women that when like say a kid has come out and these women that go along with their husbands, then their husbands want to kick their son out, let's say, right? Because they came out as gay. And that would just kill me. Yeah. I don't know how these women aren't just like, I can't do that. I cannot do that to them.
Yeah. It's, it's a tough thing to do. Yeah.
And that just creates a poison. That's what created the poison, not the kid coming out.
Yeah. So if tenderness, compassion, nurturing was never expressed throughout the life of the child from the father, they're never going to get it when they're in their old age, the father. So, like I said earlier, it's not going to be, they're going to love their father, but it's going to be a love of obligation. They're my father. I'm supposed to love them. I'm going to give them love. But there isn't going to be that care and tenderness towards their father because he doesn't
They didn't really
understand
have a
that.
relationship. Yeah.
We
There's
never
not.
had that. I'm giving back what I was given.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I know you're kind of dancing around like as my dad gets older. Is that what you're kind of like in your head, or you're kind of thinking? Yeah. Like I don't have, and then I feel guilt about that, but I've come to terms with it. Like I cannot help what he gave me as a father.
Yeah.
That wasn't on me. So the relationship, even though I always wanted a better relationship with him and tried as best I knew how so many times throughout my life, it just didn't happen because he wasn't able to do that. He didn't get it from his father either. Yeah. So I don't blame him. I know it's just a cycle that I had to break.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I didn't want my children to have a father like that. Yeah. Where they're not and even though I deal with a lot of the emotions from the kids because you didn't have a father that really showed you much of that. I try to draw you in. Like I'll say to the kids, like, we're going to have to talk about this with dad, or you have to talk with dad too, so that they can see that it's safe to show those emotions with you and that you can hold space for that because I don't, with my dad, it's just, he's getting close to the end of his life and I'm trying to, I wonder what I'm going to feel like when that moment happens. Yeah. Like, I feel there's just it's not a disconnect because there never was a connect. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I kind of feel I want him cared for. He deserves that.
But that's like any other human.
Yes. Yeah. Just like I would for anybody.
Suffer or be mistreated.
No.
But there's no special connection. There's no extra compassion.
Yeah, I don't. And I feel like it won't be as
you don't feel the need to nurture
difficult
in that situation and coddle and, and all that. So let's get off dads for a little bit and let's see what the mothers. I have my theory on this is that the mothers never earned respect through everything because they were always a whipping post and always just there to be the trophy bride, the decoration for the husband.
The kind of the servant in the house. Yeah.
They were an accessory for the husband. Mm-hmm. And the kids are going to pick up on that and they're never going to have respect for that type of mother. So when they get older, they're not, that lack of respect's going to be shown too. There may be some more, there probably will be more tenderness because that was expressed to them from the mother. But it would be not out of respect, but just because that was what was given to them. But
when they want comfort, they probably will be more. Like, are you talking in the last moments? There might be some tenderness there because the mom is a lot of times the one that cared for them when they're sick. If you're living this kind of way, so yes, there might be some of that for that, but the respect. Is respect the right word? Can you give me an example of what you're saying, like of an older woman not being respected by her children?
Just they just kind of treat the mother like the mother was been treated by the husband all the time. So they just walk over the mother. They expect the mother to do everything.
They don't maybe even take her word as really wise wisdom. It's kind of like, okay, mom.
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
There's nothing there because they've always been that they're just an accessory piece. There's nothing else there for them. That's what their job was. They're always there, so they don't get that put back into them because you never earned it earlier on.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you can't, but I think that's a lesson in everything else. At any time, you can start changing. And it's going to be a little work. It's going to be awkward as hell at first because it's going to be like, whoa. And everyone's going to be like, the hell's dad doing here? He's over here trying to caress me and talk to me about this problem.
Don't be caressing the children. What do you mean? What are we meaning by this?
The gentle. Oh, are you all right?
Comfort might have been a better word. Not caress. It just sounded.
Stroke.
I don't know. With everything going on in the world today.
Is that a better word?
No, it's not. It's not.
Fondling.
No comments.
Bad word choice. Bad words, Dan. Bad words. So comfort and all that, it'd be awkward at first. It's kind of like you mentioned my dad. He wasn't a very affectionate person. I can remember all the way up until me and you started dating, and it was probably in our early 20s. One time that he showed kind of an affectionate thing, and it was at my high school graduation. He put a hand on my shoulder during a commencement.
The fact that you remember that shows how little it was done, because it shocked your system. Like, what is happening?
And I was like, who's touching me? It's not a priest, is it? Oh, it's Dad. Whoa, that's weird.
Is that Father John or whatever his name is? No, please.
So yeah, it wasn't that. Then you started hugging him. Then the hug started.
Because my family always hugged.
But it's
that's
still
what we did.
awkward for me and him.
It is. He's an awkward hugger.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's definitely an awkward hugger, but he's better than he used to be. He really is. And he does do it. Yeah. So it's. Yeah, you could tell he was not. So he was not hugged much as a child. You can almost guarantee that that's the case. So you hug way more than he did. Did he ever hug your mom? Like, how you come up and give me hugs? Did he do that?
I don't remember.
I don't think I've ever seen your parents hug each other.
No, or be affectionate.
No. Have I ever even seen them hold hands?
No, we got that one picture from my sister that one time when they were on vacation.
Yeah.
Them holding hands. And everyone, they sent it to the family. So it was me, my other sister, and my sister. Mm-hmm. And we're all like, what's happening?
Who is that? Who's Dad holding hands?
Is one of them dying?
Wow, that's weird.
Yeah.
Never, ever seen that.
So.
Gosh. So you didn't see that as a kid either?
No.
Between your parents?
No. Yeah. So between my sisters and their boyfriends an awful lot.
Okay.
Anywho.
I'm sure you did, you little spy.
So my mom commissioned me for that. So anyways, I think, as you can see, they say that this is the system that is supposed to work. It's supposed to be this great system. But look at the fruits of what happens at the end of it.
Yeah, that's what you need to look at.
You look at these preachers out here and these alpha males are talking about this stuff. What's going to happen at the end of life? There's not going to be anyone that's going to love them or respect them or appreciate them or show
or even
care and
be
compassion.
Just sad, be mourning when they do pass. Will people mourn what they were giving to them or mourn them? Will they miss them as a person being in their lives, or will they miss what they contributed into their life with stuff? You know what I'm saying? Or, really, because like some of these women, a lot of times don't seem very happily married. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say always, but sometimes they aren't, because their husband is someone they have to like care for all the time. They're constantly putting their energy into this, right? And they pass away. And a lot of times maybe they're missing because they were completely provided for monetarily. Mm-hmm. Maybe they don't know how to make decisions because they were so used to relying on their husband. Maybe they don't know how to fix things around the house. Is it just those things that they miss? That's normal to miss those things too, or do they actually miss their company?
Yeah.
Will they have that? I don't know. If you live this way, is it possible? Yeah, I'm sure it's possible, but I'm just going to say, from my perspective, watching Christian couples age together, they do not like each other.
It's like watching.
I don't think I've ever. It's like milk. They age like their relationships age like milk. They get sour and sour towards each other. I don't know that I've ever seen a really healthy Christian marriage after years and years and years, like behind closed doors. I'm not talking like they could be Christian. You can have some Christian marriages that are healthy. What I'm saying is the ones that live like this, where you have certain roles that you fulfill and they stick to them. Like these preachers who were going around, Doug Wilson kind of people, I don't think I don't know how a wife could be happily married to him, but because he definitely thinks she's less than him, except for in the eyes of God concerning eternity.
Yeah.
That's it.
So, anywho, it doesn't, I think if you look at the fruit, you kind of see that it's not good fruit. It's spoiled milk, as you said. That comes through it. So obviously, if you're looking at something, you can see the end result.
If you can look to the other people that are doing what you think that you're supposed to be doing, that's a good way to close it. Yeah. Look at somebody who's living how you are and has been doing it for way longer. Get to know like the parts that they don't show everybody. Like get to know them and see what their relationship really is like. Maybe it's healthy and maybe they figured out a way to do it in a healthy way. I don't know if that's possible. It might be. Because I don't know.
Yeah.
I just am going by my own experience. If you have rigid roles that you have to fill, and you don't compromise on those with each other as life takes you through different situations and circumstances. I just don't think you've grown. And I think you will be like a spoiled milk relationship. So then you can kind of make your decision based on what you learn.
Yep.
So
you got a chance to look. You can look and see what it is because people that are in religious mindsets and religious marriages or relationships that are at different stages, that are same stage as you, that are before you, and that are after you. So you can see, we were there with these people before us. We're here right now and these are the people ahead of us. Okay, is that where I want to be? I don't know if I like that. So I definitely need to make a change, if I don't want to be like that. Or if you're fine with it, then okay, stay there.
Or some people choose to I'll just cheat, which that's not the solution. If you're unhappy, then be honest about it and get out.
Yeah.
But don't cheat and be sneaky because that's just making a whole nother mess. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's honesty is always the best way to go. But you can look at the past, you can look at the future, and then you can make wise decisions for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. If you're listening on a podcast streaming service, give us 5 stars. We appreciate it. Again, this one might be a little rougher just because we're testing new stuff out. We're trying to hone it in. So it'll take us a little bit to get
we're beginners at it
dialed in.
Again, all over.
So look past that and give us the 5 stars. We'd appreciate it. For the effort, we're trying to do.
An A
because we're going to be able to bring more interactive stuff.
We're going to be able to do where we can actually.
So
we can do commentary, which I would really like to do.
We'll do more on YouTube on that.
Yeah.
And leave us a comment. And speaking of YouTube, smash that like, hit that subscribe. We'd appreciate that greatly. And if you want to look at more stuff that we're doing, go to danandcan.com. That's where we have all of our goodies there. Candy's jar of candy goodness.
Candy's jar of goodies. Not what you think.
Not the euphemism you're hoping for. So go there and find all the stuff. Candy's got all their blogs and Substacks, and you can get involved with the hypnotherapy there that she's putting out. So test that out and see what you like. Listen to her podcast that she's putting out. Gives you a little taste of what she's doing. So
it's called the Transformed Life Podcast. TRANCE.
Yep. So all that good for us. But other than that, let's do with our AI closing statement of the week. If this is God's perfect design for relationships, then God was definitely shopping from the Sky Mall, clearance section. Spoiler alert, nobody wants to warranty.
This is so AI. Oh, God. That's bad. Real bad.
Hey, it helps design things and format some ideas, so we're good. But we got to...
It's good for some things, other things not so much.
So, all right. We'll see you next time.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.